Congratulations, James DeGale's won the title. Is it the proudest moment you said in your boxing career?
Oh, without that, no question. Just to create history like James has tonight, to be part of that journey, is, yeah, for me, it's my proudest moment in boxing, definitely.
Talk us through the fight. You're in the corner, so you're seeing it from a very different sort of perspective than the rest of us. Nothing in the first round, and then boom in the second half. Everything changed with the first heavy knockdown, then the second one, and he looked out. When the bell went. How were you seeing that?
Well, the amazing thing is, I had an interview the other day with the American people, and Sugar Ray Leonard asked a question of what shots that you could be looking out for with James, and I told him the Pacquiao shot. And it was the Pacquiao shot that dropped him, and it was amazing that it was the Pacquiao shot, because James, I know he already said it, that was the shot he was working on. So obviously we was finishing combinations with that shot as well. So when it landed, I was like, yes. And then the only downside of that is you think it's over. I thought it was over, and but he showed a lot of heart, which we questioned, and didn't think he had it in him to do what he'd done, to climb off the floor and come back and really grit his teeth. So fair play to Andre Durrell on that one. But obviously that was a 2-point round that gave James a lot of momentum in his mind, and maybe that might be one of the reasons why he switched off in the middle rounds a little bit, because he thought he had that in his back pocket as a bonus point. So yeah, but it was a moving moment in the fight, and a very important one, because he made a statement to Durrell that I'm dangerous.
Sometimes you can say that an early knockdown actually can work against the person who does it, because you think you might relax a bit and you think, well, I've got this in the bag. Or even in James's case, you might think, well, I've got him here, especially when he goes down for the second time. But he still did enough, especially in the really later rounds, the final 3 rounds, he put it on again. The final round he won, which was obviously important.
I mean, boxing, professional boxing is an endurance sport. I've got my own ways of methods of training, and we do things from old school. When we mentioned the other day after Sugar Ray Leonard that James does 2-hour runs, he was like, blew him away. But he does endurance sessions, and that's why he is a real good 12-round fighter, if not a 15-round fighter. And tonight he won in the world title.
What were you saying to him in between, in the breaks there, especially towards the end? Were you conscious that Durrell was kind of creeping back into it?
Yeah, I mean, because he showed so much heart to get off the floor after he got dropped in the second, he was doing things back to when he was in the Olympic Games. When James was going on the ropes for a split second, he was throwing bursts of punches to try and nick the rounds, and I knew that was his game plan. And I was saying to James, you've got to move your feet, you can't stand still with him. So it was a technical performance for me, because with someone as good as Durrell, you can't just walk in and try and bomb him out, because he is world class, and he sets traps. And we worked on in training, and it worked tonight, on taking his backhand off him. That was the game plan. And if you see James tonight, he was very focused. He didn't rush into things, he didn't get caught with those silly cheap shots. He went off to the side all the way through the fight. He'd done everything behind a feint. He stuck to the game plan, and he got the result.
We've asked Eddie and we've asked James who they want next as a trainer, Jim. Who would you like to see next? Maybe not, next one, but are you looking at the Groves fight as the one you really want?
Yeah, I think right now James has won a world title. The home fights get people's attention. Domestics, like when I boxed Baron McGuigan, it was just massive. When El Christie boxed Mark Caleb, it was massive. So these are all appealing fights to the fans and to the media as well. So all them fights are out there. But also, just on the circuit, you've got quality fighters like Mikhail Kessler, who's always involved in great fights. He's a great name for James to go in against. And Lucien Boudet from across the water, Frotchville, Carl Frotch himself. All them names, all them fights, all over the next 2-3 years, they can all be sorted, and they're very appealing fights for everyone involved.